General, members of the National Executive Committee, former President Thabo Mbeki, former President Jacob Zuma, leaders of the leagues, and of course, leaders of delegations, as well as you, an interim government. And I think we should thank the National Executive Committee and without much ado, release them. You are free, comrades. Take your seat. It's okay. Where are the other disciplines? None of the summer there. Should I order my?
So, request from the media team was that let the feta with you. Some arrange the media. Yeah. And then the delegates can come out. Otherwise, they might not have a center without a traffic. Maybe this will be the Maramagishal support. So you will make that announcement when you are done.
Comrade SG,
Yes.
I'll be assisting you.
Yeah.
Yes, with your...
Amanda, thank you, comrades. Thank you. Thank you, comrades. Ibambe, Ibambe, Ibambe. Ibambe. Ibambe, comrades. Thank you, comrades. Thank you so much. Government, made up of the Electoral Committee, the observers from each province and the leagues, as well as our agency elections. Having done that, I now proceed to give you of eligible voters, as we agreed, was 4,436. And the total number of those who cast their votes is 4,384. And then there were 2 ballots that were confiscated, graphs of their ballots. And they were reported to the South African Police Service. And upon realizing that they may end up with criminal records, status, hence these 2 votes were confiscated. So once again, as I said, the figures are as follows. Total eligible voters, 4,436. 1,386, my apologies. And the ballots counted were 4,384. And then the confiscated ballots were 2. So I'm now going to proceed to read the results to you in alphabetical order. We start with spoiled ballots. There were 4. And abstentions, those who did not care to present themselves to vote, were 7. And so for Comrade Mkhize Zweli, 1,000. Sit down, please take your seats. Comrades, sit down and take your seats. Sit down, take your seats, listen very attentively. Total is 1,897. And for Comrade Ramaphosa Cyril, his total is 2,476. Thank you. Amanda. Comrades, Amandla. Comrades, take your seats. Take your seats, comrades. Take your seats, comrades. Thank you very much for your attention. I now proceed to the position of Deputy President. We'll start by mentioning the spoiled ballots. There were 10 of them, and abstentions were 23. And I then proceed to read to you the results in alphabetical order. Comrade Lamula, Comrade Mabuyani Lubabalo Oscar. The total is 1,858. And Comrade Mashatile Paul, the Thank you very much, comrades. Thank you very much, comrades. Let's take our seats. Thank you. And once again, I'll start with the spoiled ballots. The spoiled ballots for the position of national chairperson are 11, and abstentions are 13, 1-3. I will then present the results in alphabetical order. Do so once I've read all the results. Thank you very much for your cooperation. In alphabetical order, for position of national chairperson, Mantashe Gwede. Total votes received, 2,062. Thank you very much. I now proceed, comrades, to give you the rest of the results. For position of national chairperson, Comrade Masondo. And the last result in this category, Comrade Matabata Stanley. The total is 2,018.
Not 6,000. No, 2,000.
Yeah.
180.
Yes,
I think they didn't get you.
No. Okay, comrades. Okay, comrades. Okay, quieting down. That as a national chairperson. Thank you, comrades. Let's take our seats. Thank you, comrades. Thank you. I'm still proceeding with the results. Comrades, does the ANC still have marshals? There's a delegate there who needs attention. Thank you very much, comrades. No, comrade, I can repeat them. If you listen, you'll hear. Mantashe Gwede, 2,062. Masondo David, 280. 280. Matabata Stanley, 2,018. Amanda, comrades, let's have peace. Thank you, comrades. Thank you. We then proceed to the position of Secretary General. The position of Secretary General, 1-5-15. And in alphabetical order, the results are as follows. Maswale Pumulo, total 1,590. 1590. 1692. Comrade Mseni Ntuli, 1,080. Thank you. Let's take our seats, comrades. Thank you. Thank you, comrades. Thank you. Please take your seats, comrades. Thank you, comrades. I now proceed to announce the results for the first Deputy Secretary General. The first Deputy Secretary General were 39. And in alphabetical order, I now give you the results. Jumat Peterson Tina, the total is 2,145. Please hold your horses. Mukonyana Nomvula, the total is 2,195. Thank you, comrades. Thank you, comrades. Please return to your seats. Give you the results for the position of the second Deputy Secretary General. And once again, I start with the spoiled ballots. There were 7. And abstentions were 56. And again, Nalumango Ronalda, the total is 1,948. The total is 1948. And for Ramukupa Marupini, the total is 2,003. Thank you very much, comrades. Thank you. Let's be seated. Please return to your seats. Thank you. Thank you, comrades. And once again, we start with the spoiled ballots. There were 12 of them. And abstentions were 40. And in alphabetical order, I now proceed to give you the results. For Comrade Chauke Bejani, the total. Thank you, comrades. And for Comrade Mabe Pule, the total is 1,652, 1652. And for Comrade Masin, and for Comrade Ramukhupa Gwen, the total is 1,809. Thank you, comrades. Let's return to our seats. Thank you.
What do you do?
We do
Additionals.
yeah.
You can do journalist PR for that process.
I don't know. What is your procedure?
What did you do previously?
Yeah.
You left them in. It's been an open session.
No.
Okay. Oh, you left. Yeah, you are right. Yeah. So you will announce.
Yeah. Thank you, comrades. Let's take our seats. Thank you, comrades. Thank you. Please take your seats, comrades. Take your seats. Thank you, comrades. Thank you, comrades. Please, we will ask our friends from the Fourth Estate to please excuse themselves. We don't want to detain you unnecessarily. The program must still continue. Thank you very much. We'll see you later. Yeah. Take care of them. Thank you, members of the Fourth Estate. I'm doing them. That's why I'm changing.
You do them now.
I'm chatting them out here.
Okay.
All right, well, there you have it, the announcement of the results for the top 7 leadership of the African National Congress. Those elected at the ANC's 55th National Challenger, Dr. Zwelini Mkhize. There, as you can see, Dr. Mkhize just hugging with Paul Mashatile there, I'm sure waiting for his opportunity, or maybe he has already hugged President Cyril Ramaphosa. We'll wait and see. We will, of course, spend the rest of the afternoon going into the evening discussing yesterday, but the results are what they are. I'm sure our colleagues inside the plenary, Govan Whittles, will be able to give us a lot of perspective from just what the mood was like in the room and the energy, which is something, unfortunately, that we can't transmit through the airwaves and your TV screen. Mkhize going in to congratulate some of them. ANC says that, that is a moment, and I think, unfortunately, we couldn't capture it all. Very cold, I would imagine, between Cyril Ramaphosa and Dr. Zwelini Mkhize. There, it's just a handshake, no hug. As we saw him hug, we will have some of the top 7 leadership come to join us in our studio to be able to talk through, the program for the next 5 years. What happens now? President Cyril Ramaphosa, there's the moment I think that everybody's been waiting for. I think also Ubheki Mtolo, the provincial secretary of KZN. It looks like Blade Nzimande there. We are going to spend many hours, days, weeks, months, and even the next 5 years discussing this moment on the 19th of December 2022, when ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa was re-elected with quite a significant margin. Studio by Rigotsofetse Chikane, who is our resident political analyst and has been with us since since Friday, when the national conference kicked off. Also with us is us abreast of everything that is happening. Aaron, can we just quickly then start with you? Maybe if we could just run through those winning numbers again, please.
Absolutely. So for president of the ANC, and indeed still the country, Cyril Ramaphosa, 2,476 votes to Dr. Zwelini Mkhize's 1,897. For Deputy President Paul Mashatile, 178 votes to Oscar Mabuyane's 1,858, and then Ronald Lamola at only 315. For ANC Chair Gwede Mantashe emerging victorious with 2,062 votes. Trailing behind him, Stan Matabata with 2,018, 18, and then David Masondo with 280. Then we move down, Secretary General with 1,692. Moving down, if we just stick with the winners, Nomvula Mokonyane emerging as Deputy Secretary General with 2,195. That's 2,195 votes. Second Deputy Secretary General, Maropeni Ramokopa with 2,373 votes. And then for Treasurer General, first time we'll have a woman in this position, Gwen Ramokopa, and again, Ramokopa for the ANC, top 7. First time ever the party's had 7 people at the very top.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah.
Rigotsofetse Chikane. First, let's just start. Initial impressions.
So my initial impressions is that Ramaphosa came out of this strong. I think a lot of doubts were placed on a huge blow to KZN. Mm-hmm. I think KZN is going to look back on this conference and have a lot of questions about their approach, their strategy, the way that they tried to garner support, have questions about people who might have given them promises and did not fulfill those promises. And I think it's also commentary on the Zuma regime and the era. And I think this conference is a firm indication that they are delegates.
How would the former president, Zuma, we saw, just everything that he tried to do in the lead up to conference, the day before conference, when conference eventually started on Friday, him arriving late, some say very strategically. What would this, how...
His allies now need to realize that the politics of theatrics probably isn't as effective as it was in the past as a means of galvanizing support for them within the party. I think the former president himself will have a lot of introspective questions to ask, to essentially say this is now the second time that the party has rejected, if we had to put in inverted commas, his mandate. There's a lot of support, and it's not just him. right? It's him and as well as the allies that support him in many different ways. And like I said, I think there's a lot of introspection that needs to happen from the party leaders from that region of the country. I think there's a lot of introspection as well from the Eastern Cape about how they came out of this as well. I think it's not just KZN. I mean, you got these two fairly large parties not getting the candidates that they wanted outside of maybe Gwede Mantashe in particular.
Do you know about when the voting starts for the NEC?
I don't know anything about when it starts, but I'm sure we can find out from some of our reporters who are in the plenary hall now. But Lucanio, just to come back to those numbers quickly, the margins here are incredibly interesting. So the margin between Ramaphosa and Mkhize, some 579 vote difference. And we've been hearing all sorts of things about how narrow or how wide that is. Some 50 odd votes.
Yeah.
It's a very, very tiny margin and kind of remarkable considering that, you know, Tina Joemat-Pettersson wasn't even on the lips of many people walking into conference, seeing people coming up from the floor. Those two just amongst interesting numbers as we crunch things.
Can I just ask, are those potentially votes that had been earmarked, if we could put it like that, for Phoebe Potgieter?
Of course, there are issues around the look and feel of the ANC top seven. You know, it is a multicultural party. It is a party that recognizes just different genders, different religious and cultural affiliations. And so interesting questions there, of course, when it comes to that position. But Mokonyane emerging strong. And it's not only about what happens now. We were talking about this moments ago. It's about where does this lead the ANC moving forward? What kind of message is this sending for the party's leadership coming up? Fikile Mbalula.
Allowed in, so let's just quickly listen to what former President of the Republic, Kgalema Motlanthe, has got to say.
Congratulations to you, first Deputy DSG, and congratulations to you, second Deputy SG. And of course, thank you very much. Now, comrades, we are now going, we're going to take nominations from the floor. What cannot be done? Why is so? Is it a point of order? Which part of the program are you engaging in?
Chairperson,
Yes, Kom.
we have referred some matters here to the steering committee.
Okay.
And part of those issues is the issue of comrade.
Actually, you know, we're participating in a closed session of the African National Congress. But let's then go back to my colleague Aaron Bates, who's here with us in studio, as well as Rekhotsofetsi Chikane, who is our resident political analyst, at least for this morning, going into the afternoon, and then we should see him again tomorrow. But for the next few minutes, at least, he's going to be with us. Aaron, you were talking about the margins just before we had to go back.
Only some 50 votes. So we had 2,195 votes for Nomvula Mokonyane and Joemat-Pettersson at 2,145. And that's kind of remarkable because, as I say, Tina Joemat-Pettersson was sort of this like random, really, you know, curveball, let's say, who sort of came in from the floor for this position. You know, that is first Deputy Secretary General. Yes, strong suit at school, but that's 579 votes that went, you know, between the two of them.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you make of it?
Yeah, so Tina Joemat, so we were talking about this earlier, and watching Tina Joemat-Pettersson come out of nowhere, right? Being nominated from the floor by the Northern Cape, emerging and getting as many votes as she could, versus what would have been an uncontested delegate who is more aligned with the Mkhize camp, and therefore there was no obvious opposition to her. She was running uncontested, which meant there's 2,000 votes that were essentially sitting, which shows you just how close the margins are actually between these two camps, right? It's not as big as we would think, and really shows you the strengths of what particular regions are doing, right? That provinces aren't voting as a bloc.
Okay, I want to come back and then we talk about the issue of non-racial. And my colleague Govan Whittles is standing by. Govan, tell us a little bit about the mood in the room, the electricity, especially as the election agency was running through those numbers?